Play where I was the man was probably against Burlington. The interception I had, we all week, really 2 weeks, we were preparing for their passing attack. It was supposed to be the best in the state, and then I picked it off. Had a wall of blockers in front of me. Weaved my way down to the, I don't know what yard line, but felt good.
Good. The big game, or the big block would probably have to be against Franklin. I was pulling a 4-counter trap, and I started that second half, and I wasn't really used to playing, so it was a pretty big play for me. And I came out, and I stacked up 2 guys, and John cut off my block and scored a touchdown. I got a big block award for that game.
Beautiful.
My best was in West Scotia. There's a tight end screen, and Janice was real patient with it and let us set up real well and dumped it off to me. And I was able to turn it up right away, and there's a few guys that missed me. And as I kept on going, I was like, holy cow, you know, I kept going. I got to the sideline, 2 guys are coming at me, and I like stopped. They slid by. I cut back out and I did that again. I ran in for a touchdown.
Best play against Brookfield Central was the second game, and we were about 3 or 4 yards away from the end zone, and coach called a 3 dive, and I just like the feeling when someone scores in my hole. So I knew I had to do good on this, and there's nobody over me, so I had to go on against the backer, and the backer was lined up a little bit over on a tackle, and so when he called a 3 dive, he was coming in hard, and I collided with him, and I just totally knocked Mass over teacups.
Good.
I believe it was the play at State where we were kicking off, and I believe it was 21-14, and they kicked it off, and the guy was bobbling the ball, and I dove in and I recovered the fumble, and I got the ball. I believe that was
good.
I was the man on the last touchdown we scored against Menominee in the state game. It was a 6 trap. I was playing right guard, and I opened up the hole for West Jock to run that ball, and that's what I'm most proud of.
Probably went up against Tulsa West when we were playing them. We were beating them, but I was on kickoff, and we had so many of them because we scored so much. But on this one, I ran down, and there was 2 guys coming at me to block me. And I don't know what I did, but I got around him, and I saw the ball carry all by himself. And I thought I'd see like Malice or something shooting in like I always do. But no one came, and I just stuck my helmet into his stomach and tackled him all by myself. And then I didn't really get much credit for it, but I didn't really care because Steve Metz, I guess, on the other side of the field really stuck someone good. So I just ran off the field, and I said, yeah, I tackled him, and I felt really good.
I'd say it was against Brookfield East, I think, on kickoffs, when that one guy almost got outside of me, and I just reached out and grabbed him by the jersey and took him down with one hand. And then they came across the field again that time, and he like just smacked into a wall, it seemed like, when he ran into me.
Good. Good. What about?
Almost sad to say, but I'd have to say it was the 3rd game of our sophomore season when we played West Dallas Central, and we were actually winning 18-14 at the half, and that was the first time we had a lead on a team all year, and I think it was the only time we had a lead on a team all year, but it was also the first game that we scored in. We were up 18-14 at the half, and guys were practically crying at halftime, and it was just, everybody was so happy at halftime that we had a lead, and it was just an emotion we weren't used to, or the seniors weren't used to, and I kind of had a feeling we weren't going to hold on to it by the way they were acting at halftime, and turns out we lost 28-24.
It's kind of a weird answer, kind of like, almost like Clint's, you know, but the championship game for sure is the best game. You know, it's your greatest game we'll ever play, but the game that sticks out in my memory is South Milwaukee sophomore year. It's just, I think that game like kind of, it turned me around totally as a player because I made like a mistake that led to a touchdown, and after the game, you know, I just thought, you know, I'm like, you gotta step it up, you know, you gotta work hard, and because you don't want to ever feel that feeling again, and that's a game that really stood out in my mind.
That stood it out.
Tulsa East, because it was easily my worst game. I mean, I didn't play that great of a game, and I knew from then on that it was either put up or shut up, and I had to get it done, and not just myself, but our whole team, but, you know, I got down on myself kind of, and I just kind of pushed myself to a new level, and I just said, you got to do it now or it's never going to get done. This is senior year. And from then on, it was kind of easy sailing.
Tulsa East. I had a lot of tackles that game, and
I really stepped up and filled like big time for all the plays, especially that fourth down one when me and JJ hit that one kid. That play always sticks with me.
Good.
I don't know, maybe Racine Park pretty much, because I just both sides of the ball just dominated my guy, and we, that was like our biggest challenge of the year that far, and we, pretty much dominated them.
Brookfield Central had a block punt and a couple sacks. Felt really good playing that game.
Good answer.
A game was probably Tulsa East because it was intense for the whole game. All the other games, we pretty much blew the team out right away. It wasn't as intense throughout the whole game, so Tulsa East, I remember that one. Fighting all the way.
Well, of course, the state championship game is going to always be the the most memorable game, and just the feeling it was. But the one game I'd have to say was last year against Greenfield. Not that I had that great of a game, or anybody really had that great of a game, but that was our first win after 0-9 season, and it really showed us that, hey, we can win, we can play with anybody. And not everything went our way that game, but we really played well, and we came out with a big win, and that was one of the biggest wins.
That would probably be the first one against Greenfield. That was the first varsity game I ever got to start in. It was an awesome honor to be able to start. Compared to last year, I was on the bench on varsity, and I get to start on my first varsity game. That was the best feeling.
Good. Good answer.
I believe it was the Tulsa East game. It was a close game the whole game, and the special teams really helped in that game, and I was on the punt block, and I made a couple tackles. I tackled the punter, and I believe that was
That was it, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
All the games stick out because just being out there on that field is just a great feeling you'll ever have. Just everyone.
Good.
Everything about the day, from the locker room, coming down the tunnel, just before the game when we were coming out to warm up. I remember seeing Mr. Uginski, and he was raising his hands to the crowd. We came out and you look at the crowd, and there's like, thousands of people from Cudahy, all on their, all up on the feet clapping away. It was just a great feeling. And then to warm up and kind of get a kick out of Menominee trying to, with their intimidation stuff, and and then just the game, every play, it was just great.
That probably had to be a state championship against Menominee, and it was just a great feeling beating them because they've always been ranked ahead of us, and we came out and beat them. So.
Well, it was a beautiful game. Just being down there on the turf. I didn't get to play or anything, but just being there felt good. I'm just looking all around while we're doing our cows and our cows and our running lines. You just hear all this noise. You got JJ saying his commands on one ear, and you got the fans in the other. It's just a beautiful place.
It really have to be a state championship game at Madison. Just stepping on the turf, looking up, seeing big stadium, tons of people. It's just ultimate rush. And I don't know, it was probably my toughest game, most physical, biggest challenge, and probably one of my greatest games I'll ever remember.
Good.
A few little trivial thing. I guess the thing that I remember most is like seeing Menominee, they all sit up there in their team, and they're all like practically holding hands. They're all knit together, and Arrowhead was doing the same thing the next day when I went there, but we kind of like went on our own, and we had some fun about it. We watched the Badgers basketball practice and got kicked out of the field house, and we explored the wrestling room and the weight room, and we went to the buffet, and I had tons of chow, and we just had fun out of the whole day and ended up winning. So maybe that's what works.
The day was kind of on edgy. Going up on that bus was cool, and getting escorted out of town was the best. But we were all kind of nervous, and I don't know. It was kind of weird. I mean, we went and ate, and the food sucked. Everything tasted like fish, and sitting on the bleachers, we all got kind of cold and nervous. But then once the game started, it was just like it all changed. I mean, you're automatically warm, and the field was awesome, and just seeing the crowd and everything, and just the big lights, and you knew it was the game. It was showtime, and it was the best.
It was like, just like everybody probably said, it was like a dream come true. So we worked for all our lives, and finally happened. It's sophomore year. Coach Ling called me the day after the state championship game. He was telling us how proud he was of everybody, and he said that going 0-9 probably helped us harden us up and stuff, and made us tougher and made us work more and appreciate winning more.
The state